I'm going to turn it over to Jenny Gallo of SHP. Jenny is one of our lead architects. I always say Jenny is the master of telling you no with a smile on your face. Few people can do that. But Jenny is doing a ton of legwork behind the scenes with the design of our buildings and working to keep us on budget and on time. And those are two magic phrases that you're going to hear as we go: on time, on budget. And some changes have to be made here and there to make sure that the on time, on budget promise continues to happen. So, Jenny, I'll turn it over to you.
Well, thank you. We're going to go through a pretty lengthy agenda, but a lot of this is hopefully a repeat of things you've already seen and heard, so we'll go as quickly as we can, because at the end you're going to see animations, and we are so excited to show you what we brought tonight. If you were here at the last community meeting, we showed you an exterior animation, and the interior animation was just in black and white. Today, everything is in full color, completely designed, ready for you to move into it if we could get it built. So it's really exciting. With me tonight from SHP, I have Peter, Jordan, and Brian, who have been working really hard on what you're going to see. So they were excited to come tonight to see your reaction. And as John said, we'll be here for questions after. So for the first part, I'm going to turn it over to Pete Becker with Skanska, and he's going to give you an update on schedule and our budget.
Thank you. For those that don't know me, my name is Pete Becker. I represent the Skanska Megan construction management team for the project. Some members of my team that are here tonight are going to be the pretty much guys that are on job site every day, you know, once we get started. So Chase Eggers, project manager, Eric Morton, one of our project managers with Megan Construction, and Trey Stoutberg. Real quick, you know, really back in May, we presented the elementaries pretty much on budget, utilizing the LFI dollars that were allocated towards the project that eventually get backfilled out of contingency returns to the district throughout the project of the new construction. But the elementaries and now, since then, we've reconciled the junior high school, middle school. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go real brief what the numbers are. So the gray bar at the top, under the Harrison, Crosby, Central, and the junior high school. Over there on the far right, you'll see a total. I can't read it because my eyes are terrible, but at the end of the day, the gray bar is where our current estimate is, with kind of things we call them revisions, value engineering, so forth and so on, to help the district come up with a shopping list of things that we can give them, things that we got to hold off until some money gets back once we bid the job out. But at the end of the day, all four of the new projects are, you know, we're 1,200 under, but we basically call that on budget. The lower section of the box, the lower group of boxes, is where the $3.4 million were allocated at SD, schematic design phase, back in the late winter and late fall, early winter. $3.4 million at that time. $500,000 was allocated to Harrison Elementary, $1 million to Central. I still can't read them. But anyway, those are the numbers that were allocated at SD. So what we've done is we've basically shifted that money around to balance the budgets. It's at the end of the day right now, the LFI allocation for Harrison Elementary is in the 150 range. You know, Central went up a little more at design development phase we are finished with. You know, so we allocated more money back into Central. And the same thing with Crosby. Crosby went up a little bit, as well as the junior high school. But at the end of the day, that $3.4 million that we talked with the district and the board and presented, we pulled out of the renovation projects. And then historically, just to go back to schematic design, that money gets returned as the job goes on. CM contingency, owner contingencies left over, and you only got one time to build the projects right. With the history track record of this team, between the design team, the state of Ohio, and our construction management team, we've been pretty proud to say we've given a lot of money back to districts to be able to get more now at the beginning of their projects. So at the end of the day, we're on budget. A little bit about schedule now. You know, we just reconciled the design development phase. Now the big fun gets started. We're in construction document phase. Jenny and Jeff and Brandy and the whole SHP design team are moving forward. Upcoming, we're on track to deliver an early site package to start moving dirt this summer. Once we get those documents, we'll create a bidding market for that package and then go to a guaranteed max price with the district and the state of Ohio. That takes about a month, month and a half after we get our numbers back in and reconcile. That'll happen then in the building. So in the summer, late summer, early fall, so ultimately late August, early September, we'll start moving dirt and fences will start going up. The GMP process will go on late summer and the fall for the building package. What that means is that's really where the rubber meets the road on testing the market, getting great bid coverage, buying everything we can for the district and the state and the taxpayers of this community to really try to enhance the project with a bunch of, we like to call them with the district, prioritize alternates that put money back into the educational spaces that the district really wants. We're going to start building construction in fall of 2019 once we get through the GMP, and then that's the easy part. You know, I always tell guys and gals that I just can't wait to start building. It seems like the pre-construction and design takes, you know, about a year, sometimes a little longer. It's a tight market out there, and we're working really hard for the district here. We'll finish the buildings up, close them out in the spring of 2020, which is sort of nice. There's a little buffer between when the jobs get done and then when the school year is out in 2021. And then the schools, when you come back in the fall 21, we're on track to start class in all the new buildings. With that, I think I'm going to turn it over to the fun stuff because all my stuff's boring.
All right, we're going to give you a quick update on the high school project, which while you're still waiting to see things, you know, dirt being moved on the sites for the new buildings, things are already happening over at Harrison High School. And this summer, we are in phase 1 of the renovation work. So we are currently doing roof repairs and exterior masonry restoration. The rain has proved to impact the schedule a bit, as I'm sure you can imagine, but things are starting to move. One thing I wanted to point out here, this is, I believe, cast stone as it was dirty. This is it cleaned. So again, your building's going to get a complete facelift with the cleaning that's happening. Phase 2, we are actually getting ready to start working on the design for soon. This is going to be $3.6 million of improvement work, primarily interior renovations. So we're going to be doing science lab renovations and then looking at the common areas, the student dining, and doing general finish and MEP upgrades. And that work will happen next summer. And then phase 3 will happen once the new junior high is built. So this is when we'll be doing site work, putting in new parking, looking at the flow of traffic on the campus as a whole. So again, the next several summers, there will be exciting work happening at the high school site. Yep. So getting into our new projects, again, if you've been following the process, hopefully all of this will look familiar. I want to just touch on, again, where each building is and what the floor plans are like. So on the central site, which is across the street from here, is where we are building the new junior high school and the new central elementary school. So your existing high school is here, existing junior high next door, and what you're seeing is what the site would look like after construction is complete. So again, some of that phase 3 high school work that I talked about, you're starting to see different parking and flow through the site based on the fact that the existing junior high school would be demolished. Hopefully you've been following some of the discussions that are happening about athletic improvements on the site. And again, you can start to see work that's taking place around your stadium and practice fields, and then future work for softball and baseball fields on the site. So lots going to be happening here. If we zoom in a little bit closer, and I forgot to move my red dots. So the new junior high and the new central elementary school are located near each other, and we're able to gain efficiencies there by them sharing a bus lot. The front door to the junior high, there should be a red dot right there, and then the front door to the new elementary school is here. So again, with staggered start schedules and better site circulation, we're going to be able to gain efficiencies due to their proximity, but still have separation of traffic flow. The Crosby site, we are building behind the existing building, which would be here. New building, construction, lay down space and construction trailers and work will all be happening behind. So our construction team will be working really hard to make sure that your students are safe during construction, that we keep that separated from the daily activities of your students. Front door after construction will be about here. And again, once the new existing building is torn down, nice new parking area, drop off, stack space for cars, etc. And then the Harrison site, same thing. We are building behind the existing building, which is about here. Existing board office would be on the corner here. Again, building behind that, a separate bus entrance and staff and parent drop-off entrance. Front door would be about here. The floor plans themselves for the elementary schools, again, we're building 3 schools. The buildings on the Crosby and Harrison site are identical to each other in floor plan, so that's what you're seeing here. Quick overview, again, the main entry that I pointed out is right here on both sites. You will come into the dining room as a large gathering space. That is connected to the gymnasium with an operable wall and connected to a stage. So you could have performances for 500 plus people within each building. You wouldn't have to come to the activity center depending on the size of the crowd you were anticipating. The administration is in purple, and then we have our academic learning communities here. So we would have 3 grade levels on the first floor. So kindergarten's over here, and let's say 1st and 2nd grade. One thing you are not seeing here are long, skinny hallways, and what you're going to see in the videos is that we've actually been able to allocate square footage to create these learning communities so that there can be learning common spaces for students and to spread out, work on projects, have different opportunities that they couldn't have within just the 4 walls of their classroom. Upstairs, it's more or less a copy of what's below, except we replace the kindergarten classrooms with general classrooms for 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders. Sorry, this is touchy. There. There we go. So the central floor plan should look very familiar. So from this line over, it's identical. So your students will have the same experience at this building that they would have at Crosby and Harrison. What's different is the addition of more of these purple spaces, which are for special education. So this is where your MD unit classrooms are going to be for the entire district. So we have additional special education resources here. And those are on the 1st floor. It really wants you to see this video. And the 2nd floor. So again, additional purple spaces. And actually, yes. If we could go ahead and play this video, this is going to be the exterior design of the elementary buildings. So this is Harrison Elementary as an example, but again, from a material standpoint and a massing standpoint, the Crosby and Central buildings will look just like this. So again, the front door, you're seeing right here, the administration is a 1-story block next to it. We are spinning around the gymnasium space, so you can see there is some tall windows into the gym, so we'll even have natural daylighting into the gymnasium. Coming around to more the service end of the building, I was saying you even get Harrison Green dumpsters here, so this is pretty exciting. The mechanical yard around the back here, so deliveries would come to this side of the building. The bus lot, you can see, has gates on it, so during the day this can be gated off and students can play on the hard surface for recess. This is a little connection between the student dining room and the academic block. The academic has direct access to the outside, so again, for working on projects or easy access to the bus lot or to the hard play surface. Soft play would be on this tan area you're seeing. So up here on these tables, we have some of the actual materials with us. So afterwards, I'd encourage you to come up and see what they look like. There's a brick that's labeled as the main brick, which is this one, and then there are accent bricks. So there's two darker bricks, and then you're going to see some green glazed block. So these are introducing kind of a playful pattern. This is an elementary school. And again, also trying to bring down the scale of the building, having it be more detailed down at eye level, again, thinking about the smaller students who will come to this building. And then we will go inside. So coming into the front office space, again, using Harrison Elementary as an example, this would be customized for each building. One thing you're going to see as we go through this building and then through the junior high school is that we've worked with the design team to come up with a fairly standard and consistent color palette and kind of design motif for all the buildings. So when you come to the elementary school and then come to the junior high, you'll know you're in a Southwest local school. We wanted to have a consistent brand. So coming into our gymnasium space, again, you can see those windows that I talked about. Nice opportunity for branding, and again, the gyms is one of the spaces where we have brand consistency between all of the buildings, again, really giving you a consistent feel. So the stage here has an operable wall behind that curtain, so that is actually where your music room is. The panels that we just passed are placeholders for our community pride walls, which we actually have a team of folks working on the design of that right now. This is the art room. And again, you're seeing opportunities for display right outside that art room, knowing that all of your students will pass through here every day. So coming in, the kindergarten rooms are on the left here, and this is one of those learning commons or extended learning areas that I talked about. This one's primary function is going to be literacy, so it's the main library in the building. Upstairs to your right, you're seeing a small group room. We'll pass a few more of those. And then you're seeing these large double doors into the classrooms. The goal is to give a strong visual and physical connection between the classrooms and this common so teachers can feel comfortable having their students work in that space. They can see what they're doing and again, allow their classroom to get that much bigger. The restrooms on both floors are open like this so that teachers can stand in the hall and keep tabs of students as they're washing their hands. Plenty of tack strip and tack boards throughout the corridor space, again, wanting to put student artwork on display. These triangle panels can be used for display also. So our extended learning areas have a carpet floor surface, whereas the classrooms have a hard surface. So again, trying to provide different opportunities out in the hall. The classroom spaces, we have a bit alternate for an operable wall to connect them. So this would allow teachers to open this wall up and co-teach with their neighbor. When the wall is shut, it'll be marker board surface from floor to ceiling. So again, it's a great usable teaching tool when that wall is shut also. There are lockers for the students in the classrooms for student storage. And again, you can see that hard play surface outside through the glass. There's a lot of really nice natural daylighting in this building. And again, our extended learning area, very similar to the one upstairs. So again, no matter where you are, no matter which grade level you are, you have these increased opportunities. So those are your elementary schools. So the junior high school, again, the floor plan hopefully looks familiar to you. We have our main entry down here, bus entry across from it, so everything's on axis. Similar to the elementary schools, you come into the student dining room as a learning commons. Off to the side, you have your more public areas, so we have our main gymnasium and music rooms on either side of an event entry. Administration in purple, kitchen in green, our back of house mechanical in gray, special education in purple, art in orange, and then our learning communities are identical floor to floor. It's a 3-story academic block, so you could have 6th, 7th, and 8th graders each on their own floor. The learning community is connected to the rest of the building with a large courtyard, which you'll see in the video, and our STEAM lab has direct connection to the courtyard so that students could spread out and work on projects outside, or it has a great connection to the art room also, so art classes could go outside depending on what they're working on. Upstairs, again, the academic is a copy of what's below, which is 3 teaching teams. So this is a science room and 3 general classrooms, science and 3, science and 3, again, with some shared common spaces in the community. Upstairs from the dining room, we have our main media center space, and it has the technology and STEAM labs bookending it. Upstairs to the main gymnasium is the auxiliary gym. So again, in the video, you'll see that there's actually an overlook from the one gym to the other. And then our 3rd floor, again, is just the academic space. So let's do the exterior video. So here you're seeing the addition of a new material, or a material used a bit more prominent here, of metal panel. There are some samples here. So the idea is for this to be a green metal and for the SLSD to be a reflective material. So again, something really unique to the building. The main entry is right here, so the administration is beyond that. The student dining room with the media center, it's kind of in this zone, and then our academic block starts here. So again, you can see 3 stories, with the top story being the lightest brick, again, to start to bring that scale down, have the base be stronger than the top to help with the change of scale. So all of the classrooms have, again, a lot of glass into them. Branding on the side of the building, since this building will have circulation on all sides, excuse me. Again, you can see the introduction of some of those glazed bricks to add some interest and bring in school colors to the exterior. This is the bus entry. And again, your back of house, mechanical yard, dumpster area, deliveries would happen here. The high gymnasium volume is what you're seeing with the green cap. Again, windows into the gym. The event entry. And then your band room is here on the corner. So again, you can get a sense that the buildings, even though they each have their own identity, there's definitely a common architectural theme between the buildings. So again, there will be a common architectural language here in the district. There we go. All right, and we'll go inside the junior school now. So again, the main reception is going to look very similar to what you saw at the elementary schools. That's deliberate. Again, we want people to know they're in a Southwest local school when they come here. We wanted a common design feel. So again, right outside, these gray panels are placeholders for our community wall. And then we're coming into our student dining space. So what you're seeing here is a large learning stair, which is connecting the media center down to the student dining. So there will be a projection screen in the student dining. So again, you can imagine a couple of classes, gathering here to watch a movie, have a guest speaker, put on presentations, lots of great opportunities. What's in front of us here is our community room. So this is a meeting space for about 75 to 80 people. So a size that the district currently doesn't have. The art rooms with display are down this main hall. And then our courtyard is coming up on the left. So again, there will be furniture outside, hardscape, landscape, small little seating area, and again, a connection to that steam room so you can pull out work tables. So we're coming into one of our learning communities. So again, we have the large double doors, our small group rooms, and again, opportunities to have different furniture and different experiences in our learning commons. So there's one of those small group rooms. Those are about 250 square feet, so they could be for 10 to 12 students. So again, half a class could be in there. So each teaching team, again, has a science room and then 3 general classrooms. 2 of the general classrooms, we have a bid alternate for the operable wall again. So here we have a full connection to create a double classroom, and then when this wall is shut, again, it would be an entire wall of marker board surface. So the science rooms are all identical. One thing you're seeing here is the cabinetry is white. We're actually looking at the wall cabinets and the tall cabinets having a marker board face on them. So again, trying to make every surface usable to support education. Most of the lockers are pulled out down this main hall and these connectors, so we're trying to keep the lockers a little bit further away from the classroom spaces. So the second floor connector, again, the courtyard is to the left, and now we're passing our STEAM labs. So there are 2 of these labs on the second floor, and then the technology labs are on the other side, looking very similar to these. Our media center space is open to the dining room, again, trying to make it part of the student's day. When they're done eating, they could come up here, work on projects. There again are 2 large group rooms. These again can hold 12 to 15 students. So if this open area was too loud for what you were doing, there are opportunities to get acoustic privacy in the space. So these panels that you're seeing on the wall, they're not only decorative, they're also acoustic panels. So, we have thought about the reality of not having a ceiling in here. There are acoustic panels tight to the deck also. So again, even though it will be a large volume space, the acoustics should be appropriate for a dining room. So again, front door here, main office. And now we're heading down towards the athletic spaces and music spaces. So this is our health classroom, display case. And now we're going to go into the gym. So again, if you remember the elementary school gym, it was also using triangles in these same fabric colors. So again, we're trying to have the 2 spaces relate to each other. Bleacher seating for 800. And then again, that auxiliary gym is upstairs. So there will be kind of a knee height wall, and then that'll have plexiglass on top of it. Like if you've been to a hockey arena, it would be similar. And then there's a net that drops down, so you won't have balls flying between the two spaces, even though you have a connection. The locker rooms are through these doors. So underneath the auxiliary gym are the locker rooms and a training room. So this is the event entry. So again, it's taking design cues from the main office, but spinning it a little bit more with our athletic design concepts. This is that band room that you saw in the outside corner. So again, it has great glass, great views, plenty of acoustic treatment, storage for instruments right in the classroom. And that's your junior school. So, what's next? So, as Pete mentioned, we are currently in the third phase of design, so we are in construction documents. So, as you saw, most of the design concepts are established. Now we're actually working on detailing them, drawing details so the construction team knows how to actually build it. There will be a groundbreaking ceremony August 23rd, so we really hope that you guys will come out for that. As Pete said, the permit submission will be in September, with GMP happening right after that. And then we will hope to actually be out of the ground come winter 2019. So again, you'll start to see dirt being moved this summer, and then hopefully starting to see the building coming out of the ground by the end of the year. So a lot's gonna start to happen, and once construction starts, I know it can't be built soon enough, but it gets really exciting when you start to see it. So I think we are going to turn off the mic, break into our team. So again, if you have any questions for the district, I think we'll be over where John is. The architectural team is going to go in the middle where the materials are. So if you have any questions, please come see us, or if you just want to see the actual paint samples, flooring samples, they're all here and labeled. And then our construction manager will be over here if you have any questions about schedule, budget, construction, etc. So thank you all so much for coming out. I know this is one of our actual first nice summer evenings, so the fact that you chose to spend it with us, at least you had air conditioning. So thank you for your time.
To you and your team, beautiful job.
Thank you.